Yo, what is up, guys? And we are back for another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, and just for fun, wanted to throw in a no-item run in this video on my ode to Jiren. Now, this was not really meant to be a no-item run, but the honest to God's truth is I have not really had a chance to, as I say, kind of open up the throttle with LR Jiren. So LR Tech Jiren, if you guys are not aware, is my most recent LR. I actually picked him up with coins. He's tanking very well there, by the way. That was a 4.5 milli attack stat, and remember, you'll hear it ad nauseum. Super effective against all types. Now, that was not very good, but type disadvantage in ESBR, honestly, 65k is fine. I mean, again, considering no item active or anything like that, not too bad at all. And then again, considering he was super effective against all types, we also got a really good rotation there. So again, for those of you who do not know, Jiren is very good. He is basically like, he is the Giga Chad, right? Like that meme you see of Giga Chad, like that's him. So Jiren, he's just 200% attack and defense. Boom. And he does a lot of other shit too. So he does greatly lower defense on his 12 key super, which is not the craziest ability. I've been over it time and time again. It's not worthless. You can clearly see a difference in the amount of damage a unit does when they lower defense, particularly when they massively lower defense, right? Which is what he does on his 18 key super. And I think people forget he also has a medium chance to stun on his 18 key super. So in a nutshell, on his super attack, in most situations, if you have him with like a legitimate linking partner, he is going to be super effective against all types. So i.e. with God Toppo, or with like the Toppo and Pride Troopers unit, or with a lot of other units too. So for instance, like one of the units we have on this team, the LR Blue Goku and Blue Vegeta, right? They lower attack, and I believe they lower attack on their... Yeah, they lower attack, and then they raise their own attack and defense, right? So, again, in most situations, except for, like, GT Legendary Goku event against Tech Super Saiyan 4 Goku, right? He is going to be super effective against all types, just when he's got Toppo on rotation, right? Toppo just passively lowering defense. Again, Toppo and Pride Troopers lowering attack and defense. You've got a lot of units. I mean, even a unit like MVP 17, he's lowering attack and defense. There's a lot of units that do that, so it's very easy for Jiren to be maximized. And then also, he has a really nice mechanic of getting ki. So he gets ki every time he gets hit, up to ki 5. For an LR man with only 2 key links, that is very good. So he's got shocking speed and TOP, I believe. Oh, and then he's got Supreme Warrior, which is a key and attack link. Again, sharing it with God Toppo, sharing it with Toppo and Pride Troopers. So, dude, Jiren, I'm telling you, man, he is really good. And then just one more kind of icing on the cake, right, is he will get a guaranteed crit when all of the opponents, or excuse me, when any opponent is stunned. So any opponent he's attacking that's stunned, he gets a guaranteed crit. So in the same way like STR Jiren gets that same thing when opponents are stunned, Tech LR Jiren gets that as well. Now we will get to STR Jiren, right? STR Jiren, man, I guess we can just go ahead and kind of cover him right now. So STR Jiren, you guys already saw some of his prowess and why you want to bring him on teams still to this day. It's not a horrible idea to bring him along, right? So Jiren, STR Jiren that is, he has this ability, he's got this medium chance, which remember, medium is now a 30% chance universally. So a 30% chance to stun the entire enemy field. That was crazy damage there, by the way, from Tech Jiren. But that is a 30% chance to stun the whole entire enemy field. So on a stage that has 5 enemies and you get this, dude, this is just absolutely free damage. This is exactly what you want. Now in this particular situation, in hindsight, I mean, you guys will figure it out later, right? Probably like I shouldn't have gone like same type orbs and stuff like that. I wanted to, a couple of things. So it gets us closer to the Dokkan attack, but then also it's giving us healing, which in most situations you want to be, you know, kind of maximized health. Because remember, you don't really, like on extreme type teams, you don't have to activate big bad bosses and shit anymore, assuming you have wow, 5.24 there. Super effective against all types. So, remember on extreme class teams, like assuming you have big bad bosses at level 10, yeah, you don't have to get below a certain HP threshold anymore. Even if you've got it at like Link level 9 and it's like a 96% HP threshold, like most of the time in SBR, unless it's right after a Dokkan attack, you're going to have it activated. But the whole point of me going into that tangent is it's usually better to have high HP, but in this particular situation, man, so God Toppo, right? God Toppo, I guess we can kind of move on to God Toppo, right? So God Toppo, when you're below 70% HP, he basically has a Whis active, right? He gets 40% damage reduction. God Toppo, dude, after his EZA is pretty goddamn crazy. In something like Super Battle Road, man, he is very, very, very good, particularly when you are below that HP threshold. Now, he can get touched. He can get tagged quite hard if you have him above 70% HP, because he's not rocking like 300k defense or something like that. Like, he's sitting there a little over 100,000 defense, so he can still get hit hard. That was a super attack that we tanked for about 110,000 there. Not too bad, not too bad. That was type advantage, but still, man, in ESBR, if you guys, know anything about ESBR, that's pretty impressive. Now, Boo there, Skinny Boo, Shape Up Boo, I really would have preferred a stun there, because then we can capitalize on Jiren's guaranteed crits, but it is okay, right? At the very least, we were able to take down Hit, who is obviously the most formidable enemy in this sort of crew, this Universe 6 crew. You guys are going to see right here, man, even, like, God Toppo, even type disadvantage right here is going to be tanking just fine. Now, if we got hit with a super attack, yeah, I mean, he'd get hit for over 100k probably, against Frost. But, like, dude, he's going to tank just fine. Like, watch him here. Yeah, I mean, 22,000, man, that's pretty fucking good. Now, he's at full level 10 links and stuff, so, he's as strong as it gets, right? And then 1.99 million attack stat. Not the most impressive, but he's providing a huge attack buff to Tech Jiren specifically. And then there is a double attack buff, and now Jiren is going to be super effective against all types with a 2 times 35% attack buff, man. And then, of course, Toppo, a monster support unit, providing 1 key. Dude, yeah, 3.94 on a 12 key super, right? That's pretty ridiculous, but providing a very, very helpful 1 key and 40% attack and defense. God Toppo, man, even on, like, the final trump card team, for instance, like, that is a very, very useful ability. And then, again, lowering enemy defense by 70%. I know that, like, I get it, guys. Like, oh, yeah, I know a lot of, prominent YouTubers. I'll just go ahead and cite him, The Truth DT. Doesn't really find lowering defense all that useful, but dude, I'm telling you, when it's like a monster lowering of their defense, 70%, 80%, a massive lowering of defense is a 100%, no, it's an 80% reduction, excuse me. Like, that's huge, dude. That's a very, very large amount of HP. There's Jiren getting that medium chance again, dude. That extra 5%, I don't recall if before the update, if it was 25 or 30%, but that clearly that extra 5% is helping a lot. Like, we've got it to activate, I think, 2 or 3 times already in this run. That is very, very good. Jiren was a quintessential part of the OG Realm of Gods no item run. At least for me, he was, right? So that he was, a very, very good tool to have in the old tool belt. So, again, we're below 70% HP right here. We really don't have anything to worry about. Oh, you know what? I decided to go ahead and lead off with Jiren because, unfortunately, the Dokkan attack is inevitable. And that was the point I was making earlier, is if we would have just avoided same-type orbs just one more time, we could have avoided the Dokkan attack until the last fight. But, again, based on the title of this video, we do indeed get the no-item run, despite it, right? So the thing about this U11 / Universal Survival Saga team is there are some U11 units, man, that are just straight up not runnable in Extreme Super Battle Road. One of them, unfortunately, is Dyspo, man. Dyspo, upon his EZA, dude, he got the shaft. He really, really did. So he's got this 20% chance to dodge, which is that's a decent amount to dodge, but, like, when that's all you have and you have no fucking defense, that's scary, man. I mean, you can't just put him in slot 1 and just be like, well, go to town, Dyspo. Go ahead and dodge. It's like, no, dude, he's going to get hit with 4 out of every 5 attacks. Like, if you think about it that way. And, like, you're dead. Like, when you don't have defense in your passive, you're dead, which he has no defense in his passive. He does raise defense on Superman, so I guess maybe you could call him a slot 2 unit, but it's just, straight up, dude, it's not good enough. Level 10 Lynx doesn't fucking matter. Like, it's not good enough. He's not really super reliable in here. And then, of course, the Casserole and Pride Troopers unit. Again, just not really good enough to run in here. They do function as a support unit for U11, obviously very, very good. But again, they're more useful in like the long event. The short burst Super Battle Road event is just not their event. They just ordinarily, like, they just raise defense. If they maybe greatly stacked defense or something like that, maybe, just maybe, they could be useful. Or maybe if they guarded and raised defense or something like that. Like, if they were built a little bit more like the Toppo and Pride Troopers unit, of course, like, you could bring them in here, right? But the Casserole unit, man, just not really, yeah, just not really cutting it in here. So we did have to substitute a couple of Universal Survival Saga allies on this team, only getting the 150% buff, but it's fine, right? Like, it doesn't matter. It really, really doesn't matter. So that Toppo and Pride Troopers unit, man, I would dare say is kind of an underrated unit. Like, no one really discusses how busted they are, but they're fucking busted, man. When you have them on the same rotation with another Universe 11 ally, they guard, dude, which, again, you guys know in Super Battle Road, Extreme Super Battle Road, and the like, for the same reason that, like, Tech Ultimate Gohan is so busted, it's that guard ability, right? That's why I love Tech Ultimate Gohan. He's probably my favorite TUR. Probably he is. Maybe Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta or something. At least for now, right? You know, I don't know. But it's not important. But that's what makes him so busted, right? Is that ability to guard. The Toppo and Pride Troopers, man, they do it too, and they function as a support unit, which is really, really nice for U11. The 5 milli super effective against all types. That's roughly a 7.5 million attack stat at 55%, and that was just barely an 18 key super, right? That was exactly 18 key. That is cray-cray. He had 6 of 7 links active right there. Again, this video is primarily about Jiren, but I definitely wanted to touch on his, you know, his teammates, right? So Toppo and Pride Troopers, man, very, very, very good, especially when you have them basically on a full U11 team. They do need to activate the other part of their passive. They do need 3 or more U11 units, which is, again, pretty much you're going to be running them with Jiren. That's pretty much the point, right? I guess you could run them next to Toppo as well. But the one criticism I have is they're shattering the limit, right? So, yeah, they are, with that second part of their passive active right there, they just had 200, basically a little north of 220% attack and defense. It's just that the low banner unit stats, right, is really what holds them back. There's Jiren with the stun, by the way. I guess we can move on. The other 2 units we've kind of been over, right, in Skinny Boo, and then I've talked at great length about this Goku and Vegeta unit, right? Like, they are ridiculously busted, right? So they've got this active skill. They're actually going to finish it off, right? This video, after this active skill, man, they're going to definitely get the deciding blow here with just a ridiculous attack stat, dude. Just and I mean ridiculous attack stat. And you get them a couple rainbow orbs, man, they get this extra % chance to crit. Like, I believe it's 7% per rainbow orb. And then, of course, per rainbow orb they get an additional normal attack. And when you start up to 3, right? So when you start getting a 21, if you get them 3 rainbow orbs, a 21% chance to crit on top of their hidden potential system chance to crit, dude, they start to put up some crazy damage. We get them 2 rainbow orbs there. So this is definitely an interesting, this is a good team. Like, it's a good team. U11 doesn't have a super high ceiling. I mean, you could potentially make any single unit, like, you could say we have a Toppo and Pride Troopers unit. You could easily say, like, let's introduce a Dyspo and Pride Trooper unit. Let's introduce a Jiren and Pride Trooper unit. Yeah, 8.74 with a pretty high chance to crit at this point. Do we get the crit? We don't, but we didn't really even need it. But guys, Jiren is ridiculous. I absolutely do not regret picking him up with yellow coins. He is crazy. He is absolutely crazy. You guys just saw it firsthand, man. The amount of damage he does, not many units can do it like Jiren. As they say, he is built different. Slap a like if you enjoyed it, and of course, subscribe if you're new. I love you guys, and I will catch you in the next one. Later.